A very good morning, students. Welcome back to online session on programming for problem solving course. So quickly we'll overview what concepts we discussed in our third unit. So we started the third unit, then we started the discussion on functions. Basically, we said this basic algorithms and other stuff, this searching, sorting, other stuff we'll discuss afterwards. So we said first we'll discuss about these functions, and in our previous classes I have defined this function, and I have shown the basic terminology associated with these functions, and what do you mean by parameter passings, like call by value, call by reference. Then we also discussed interfunction communication, and we have also seen the differences between predefined and user defined functions, and some concepts related to your variables like scope of the variables, that also we discussed. The actual parameters, formal parameters, how the actual parameters and formal parameters used in functions, all those concepts we have covered in our previous sessions. So then, yeah, in today's class, we'll be discussing how we're gonna pass arrays. Okay, how we are going to pass arrays to functions. That is nothing but idea of call by reference. So quickly, without much ado, we'll just get into the concept. So passing arrays to functions. So as we know, arrays are nothing but the what we call collections. They are the collections of elements. So in an array, we are going to have more than one data element, that we already know. In your second unit itself, we discussed about arrays, one-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional arrays. Okay, we got the clear idea, clear picture about what these arrays are. So we said array is nothing but it is a collection. We are going to put more than one element into the array, and more precisely, if we speak, or if we say, array is a collection of homogeneous data elements, or elements of same data type. Array is a collection of elements of same data type. So like this we define the array. So being a collection, so what are our possibilities when we are passing arrays to functions? What are our possibilities? See, parameter passing techniques we discussed in our previous session, where only a single variable, how we can pass a single variable from called function to the calling function, that we have seen, isn't it? And calling function to the called function, I mean basically with respect to variables, normal individual elements, how we gonna perform interfunction communication, that we have seen in our previous session. But in today's session we'll see in terms of arrays. So how these arrays are helpful in order to establish the communication, or in order to make the communication between the functions. In simple terms, how we pass arrays from calling function to the called function, and how we receive the arrays back from called function to the calling function. Concept is very simple. How we're going to pass arrays from calling function to the called function, and how we are going to receive arrays back from called function to the calling function. So this phenomenon, or this concept, we'll discuss in today's session. So being a collection, array, we said it is a collection. We have two possibilities. Two possibilities of passing the arrays to functions. So here if you read, so not only the normal variables, we can also pass arrays. Arrays can also be passed as parameters to functions when required. So based on our requirement, or based on our logic processing, sometimes it is required to pass the complete array, or sometimes it is required to pass the individual elements from the array as arguments to functions. So there are two possibilities in which arrays can be passed. So as I just now said, we can pass the individual elements, or we can pass the complete array. So array, when defined and declare, how it will be in the memory? It is a collection. Basically, it is going to have more than one element. Let us say this is a simple array with how many elements? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are indexes. So how many elements I have over here? 6 elements. So let us say the first element inside the array is 4, 6, 9, 2, 3, 7. Like this we have the array elements. So now being a collection, it is a collection. Array, it is a collection, ARR. Let us say if I have given the name as ARR to this array. So now being a collection, there are two possibilities. I can pass this entire array as an argument to function, or I can pass the individual elements. Like I can pass, so passing individual elements are nothing but passing the individual elements from this array. So ARR of 0, I can pass the first element, or ARR of 1, I can pass the second element. Likewise, I can pass the individual elements from this array, or if needed, I can pass the entire array, that is passing only ARR. I can pass the entire array as an argument to function. So two possibilities. We can pass the individual elements, or we can pass the whole array, complete array as an argument to function. So passing individual elements, again it is having, we can either pass the values or we can pass the addresses. So again it is we are having two concepts over here. We can even pass individual values, or we can even pass the entire, addresses of the individual parameters. So passing individual values is nothing but pass by value mechanism, call by value mechanism. Passing their addresses is nothing but call by reference mechanism. I told you in my last session only that this phenomenon, call by value, call by reference, it is an LAQ question. It is a very, very important question. And again, this passing arrays concept, it is also an important question for your external exams. Okay, so passing individual values is nothing but call by value mechanism. Call by value mechanism. Passing their addresses is nothing but call by reference mechanism. Call by reference mechanism. So these two things we need to discuss. Okay, how we can pass the individual values, that is nothing but call by value mechanism in with reference to arrays, and how we can pass their addresses of the individual elements, that is nothing but call by a reference mechanism. Passing data values, so just what we have to do, we have to make use of the index. When we are passing individual values from the array, we have to make use of the index of those values. Okay, so along with the array name, what we have to do, we have to take the indexes of the individual elements so that they will get passed from the to the function. Okay, as long as the type is matching, the called function is unaware whether the value is coming from an array or it is a normal variable. See, it is very simple. So for your understanding, being a programmer, you are programming the code. As you are programming the code, for your understanding, it may look like you are passing an element from the array. But from the compiler point of view, or from the called function point of view, it will receive it like an individual element. It doesn't know that, it is completely unaware that we are passing an element from the array. It will consider that element as an individual element, as a variable only, and it will receive that element as a single value, and it will print, it will manipulate, it will print, it will perform the operations on that element like a individual element only. It is completely unaware that we are passing that element from the array. Okay, so quickly here you can see. So passing the individual element, we are declaring an array, variable a, and we are passing that a to this function fun. Fun is my function name. So what we are doing, I'm calling this function and I'm passing this a as an argument over here. Okay, and over here what I have done, I have declared and defined an array, complete array. It is an array of 10 elements, and from these 10 elements, what I am doing, I am passing only one element, that is array of 3. That is fourth element I am passing from this array, ARY. So in order to receive this array element, in order to receive this individual array element at the called function, this is my called function, at the called function, in order to receive the individual array element, I need a normal formal parameter variable only. Like how you are receiving a normal actual parameter, a normal variable parameter, in that same way we receive the array element as well. as long as you are passing the individual elements. As long as you are passing the individual elements, both the cases, how you are framing the called function, in case when you are receiving a normal variable, you have to frame the called function in that same way when you are receiving the individual element from the array. Okay, this concept you have to remember. When you are passing the individual element from the array, it will be considered like a normal variable only. So when you are coding the called function, make the called function in the same way how you receive the normal variable actual parameter. In that same way you frame the called function. This thing you have to remember. So quickly we go and we write the program for this uh, call by value mechanism. Call by value in case if you are passing the individual values from the array. So I will shift to my Dev C++. See, many of the times don't get confused with the nodes what we have provided, because in nodes whatever coding we are having, just the identifiers or just the way of implementing the logic will differ, but rest of the things they are same, they are the same. Only I will change, sometimes I will change the uh, identifiers. So over there maybe I have used some different identifiers, and over here I may be using some different identifiers. It is just the I mean, you have to understand the concept, not the what we call identifier names or the keywords what I am using, or the logic, programming logic, how we are implementing. You should not focus on that one. Rather, you need to focus on the concept. Okay, here what we said, we are going to pass the individual array elements as arguments to functions. So that concept we have to understand. So what I have to do, first let's just start the program. Hash include stdio.h, then my main function int main of void, and here I'm going to write my complete code. So here, as I'm going to use a function and I'm going to pass the individual elements from that function, so I need to do the declaration of that function. So my function name is sample, and to this I'm going to pass two elements from the array. I'm going to pass two elements from the array. So here what I have to do, quickly declare an array int arr of some 5 elements I'm taking. So here I'm initializing here itself. Instead of reading from the keyboard, here only I'm initializing 34, 45, 9, 3, 8. So these many elements I have initialized. So what are my 5 elements into that array? 34 is the first, 45, 9, 3 and 8. So now what I'm doing here, inside my function I'm passing let us say I want to pass this 45, the second element from the array, and 3, that is the fourth element from the array. So how I can pass the second element? Simply make use of the index. So array name followed by the index, that is 1. Second element means first index. Then array name followed by the fourth index. So sorry, third index we have to put. In order to get the fourth index, fourth element, we need to pass the third index value. So like this. Now, yes, that's it. We just go to our called function and we see whether we are receiving the same value from the array or not. And if possible, shall we return? Okay, in our next example, we will see how we can return. So over here, what I am doing, I am keeping the receiving into x1 int x2. These are my formal parameters. So let's just do some changes to the formal parameter, and here I will print the uh, actual parameters. That's it. That is percentile d here, comma, array of 1 comma array of 2. Sorry, third element, I mean fourth element we passed. So array of 3. So this is after the change, I mean after calling the function, I am printing these values. So here you put \n. So inside this, what I will do, whatever array of 1 you are passing. So array of 1 is nothing but this 45. This is array of 0, array of 1, array of 2, array of 3, array of 4, likewise. So this is array of 1, 45. So whatever array of 1 you are passing over here, that will be received inside x1. Okay. So here what I am doing, x1 equals to x1, I am adding some 10 to it, x1 plus 10. Okay. So then x2 equals to x2 plus 10. Again, I'm adding 10 to x2. So what values you have received? So printf, okay, formal parameters before change. Formal parameters before change. So what are they? Percentile D, just put those values. That is x1 comma x2, because we are receiving the values into x1, x2. And again, after modification, printf formal parameters after change. Okay, put same thing, percentile D. Same concept I'm applying, that what we have discussed in our previous class. Again, I'm printing x1 comma x2. At the end, put the semicolon. So now, I'm receiving the actual parameters into formal parameters. Here ARR of 1 and ARR of 3. ARR of 1 I am receiving into array of 1, I am receiving into x1. Array of 3 I am receiving into x2. The same received values I am printing over here. Before the change I am printing over here. And after the change also I am printing. So after coming out of this function, what will happen? The control, from this point, the control will come over here. And when it prints the actual parameters, if any changes what you are making to the formal parameters, if they do affect actual parameters, means that change you will see over here. If it is not affecting, means you will not see that change over here. So quickly save this program. So the program name, passing arrays. So pass arr.c. Hit the enter key. Program got saved. Now compile. See, here it is showing one mistake. What is that? It is saying expected declaration. Expected declaration specifier or 3 dots before ARR. So here I am calling the function. Sample is my function name. Sample int we are passing. Integer array ARR of 1 and array of 3 we are passing. And void is the void here not required, because when you are calling the function, return type is not required. So simply put like this. Okay. So now compile. Compilation is successful, and then run the program. As you can see over here, formal parameters before the change 45 3. Then formal parameters after the change, the value, I mean we have added 10 and 10. So the values get added to it. I mean to the formal parameters we are seeing the change. But when it comes to but when it comes to actual parameters, we are not seeing the change. As you can see, we got what we call 45 and 3 only. Okay, so quickly, we just close this one and we'll go to our PPT. So passing individual elements as values to functions we have seen. Now passing addresses. So it is also possible to pass the addresses. So like how we did in case of call by reference, that phenomenon we can apply over here. Passing the addresses instead of values, we can even pass the addresses as parameters to functions. So in this case, what will happen when you pass the addresses? The changes whatever you are making to the formal parameters will affect the actual parameter. So that's the reason I am not closing the program. I will just do the modification to this existing program only. So here what we are what points we have, just see that one. So in case of passing addresses, the address of the elements, okay, instead of value, now what we do, the address of the element of array can also be passed as an argument to function. Okay, the individual element addresses can be passed just like any other variable address. So how we are dealing normal variables, in that same way we deal the addresses of individual elements of your array. Okay, to pass an array elements address, the address operator can be prefixed with the elements indexed reference. So array name followed by the index will give the individual element value. So if you prefix the address operator, that is nothing but ampersand. What is my address operator? My address operator is nothing but ampersand. So let us say if I want to pass the address of second element. So how we get the second element? ARR of array of 1. Array of 1 will give the second element, because array of 0 is my first element, array of 1 will be the second element. So if I want to pass the address of second element, what I have to do? Just prefix this definition, just prefix this thing with ampersand symbol. Ampersand operator will give the address. So this will give the address. So just pass this address as an argument to the function. Okay, just pass this address as an argument to the function, and at the called end, what we have to do? Called function end, we have to receive this address into formal address variables, and you just perform the operations, whatever modifications, whatever changes you want to perform, just perform the changes to that formal parameters. And as we are passing the addresses over here, whatever changes you are making to the formal parameters, they do affect the actual parameters. Okay, so that change we see in terms of program. Now just go to the program. So hash include stdio.h, then what we said, we pass the address. Address means a pointer. So int star. So normal int means value, int star means address. Okay, so over here same thing, and instead of passing the, once again, before the change, you just note down, you just record the output of this program, so that when we do the change, you should understand. So what I am doing, I am compiling. This is pass by value. Okay, passing normal values from the array, not the addresses but the values. See here, it is not affecting, the changes what you are doing inside the function, it is not affecting the actual parameters. It is not affecting the actual parameters. Actual parameters, before the change, whatever you have, even after the change, you are getting the same thing. Okay, so that's the reason we are going for call by reference mechanism. Simply put pointer here, and inside the main function we have declared the array, and here you pass the address ampersand array of 1, and here also you pass the address ampersand array of 3. So now this is after performing the change. Ultimately what I said, whatever change you are doing inside the sample function, that change will affect the actual parameter. So we see that one. So over here we have to receive the address, not the value. So I am declaring address variables. X1 is an address variable, X2 is an address variable capable of holding the address. So X1 now will hold the address of second element from the array, and X2 will hold the address of fourth element from the array. So formal parameters before the change. So here to print the values, what we have to do? Dereference the address. So again, to change the value, dereference here like this, dereference the values, because they are not normal values, they are pointer variables, isn't it? They are pointer variables. So from the pointer variable, to get the actual value, we have to dereference. So like this, if you dereference and see the change, okay, once again you put here like dereferencing. So now just instead of value, pass by value, we did it like pass by reference, and see the difference. Compile the program and execute the program. Just see. Previously we got like 45 and 3 only over here. So the changes whatever we are making inside the sample function, they have not affected the actual parameters previously. But now, as we did it by call by reference mechanism, we are seeing the change on actual parameters. Whatever change we are employing on the formal parameters, that change we are seeing on actual parameters as well. So this phenomenon, this concept you have to understand and you have to remember. Okay, you have to remember. So this is passing the individual element addresses from the array. Passing individual element addresses, passing addresses of individual elements from the array. So we have demonstrated that thing like this. See over here, passing the normal variable address and passing the individual element address from the array, both are same. How you are passing the normal variable address, in that same way you pass the individual element address from the array. Okay, and receiver at the called function, you don't need to change anything. How you are receiving a normal variable, in that normal variable address, in that same way we receive the what we call uh, uh, individual element address from the array. Okay, so this is passing the address of an array element. What we are doing over here, we are passing the address of individual element from the array. So we have demonstrated the program as well. So now passing the whole array. So based on the requirement, not the individual elements, but if you want to pass the entire array, that is also possible in case of in your C programming. Okay, you can even pass the entire array, the complete array. Okay, the complete bulk of array as an argument to the function. In C, the name of the array itself holds the address of the first element. This phenomenon, this concept we discussed when we had the discussion on arrays. We said the array name itself points the first element inside the array. That is nothing but, if you have like 5 elements, if you have like, yeah, this is your array. Let us assume I'm taking one array over here. Let me just do like this. Okay, I'm taking the array like this. So this is my array, and in this, let us say I'm having 1 2 3 4 and last one is 5 element. So first element is 0 1 2 3 and 4th. Okay, 0th index, first index, second, third, fourth index. Here let us say we have 24 31 3 9 7. Like this I have all the elements. I'm taking the array name as ARR. Like this I have taken the array name ARR. So here array name itself. So let us say the element addresses here 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, because array address, I mean address of the memory location, it is an hexadecimal value. We cannot predict, basically we cannot predict the address, okay, when we are doing the execution, as we don't go into the computer and we don't see where the program is getting executed, I mean how the processor is executing, what memory locations it is using, all those things we can only predict, or we cannot predict. So just some random address values I'm taking. So array name itself represents the first element address. So that is nothing but, if you take ARR in your programming, it represents the first element address, that is nothing but 1001. How to get the second element address? So this is ARR is same like getting the address of first element, that is getting the address of first element, ARR of 0, like this. How to get the address of second element? That is ARR of 1 and percent we have to put, and percent ARR of 1, that is nothing but 1002. Then how to get the address of third element? ARR of 2, array of 2, that is nothing but 1003. Like this we can get the individual element addresses simply by prefixing this ampersand symbol before the indexed value, before the indexed value. So like this. So if you're taking only the array name ARR. So what it represents? It represents the first element address. If you're taking only ARR, as I have suggested over here, array name, it is giving the first memory location's address. So this you have to remember. So once again we give, here we go and we read this statement. In C, the name of an array holds the address of the first element in the array. So just you put the array name, that will give you the address of the first element, and using the address of the first element, it is possible to access the entire array elements. Okay, the complete array elements. So what we do when we are passing the whole array, generally what we do means we pass the address of first element, that is nothing but the array name itself. We pass the array name itself, and inside the called function, by just making use of that array name, will access all the elements. So this is something passing the entire array to the function. So using array name and indexed values, using array name and indexed values, the complete array element can be accessed. So what we do, we use the array name followed by the index value inside the called function to access the complete array. So passing the array name instead of single element allows the called function to refer the same array back in the calling function. So this is something like call by reference mechanism. Whatever element name, array name you are passing, what that will give the address, and if you receive that address inside the called function using that first element's address from your array, using that first element's address from your array, it is possible to access the entire array, complete array. So how you can see over here. Yeah, now what I have declared here, we have declared an array with 10 elements. So what I am doing, I am passing ARY. Over here the array name is ARY, so I am passing that ARY over here. So passing ARY, passing array name is nothing but we are passing the first memory location's address. First memory location's address, and that address I am receiving like this. You have to write like this and you have to receive that address over here. So now using this FARY, formal array. FARY is nothing but formal array. So using this formal array, I can access all the elements from this actual array. I will show you how come it is possible. We'll discuss, we'll demonstrate with the help of a program. Yeah, this will be my last concept in today's session, passing the whole array, and in tomorrow's session we'll discuss some other thing. So I will write the program from the beginning. So I have deleted the entire thing. So now start writing the program. Hash include stdio dot h. Okay, then you take int main of void. Okay, like this. Go here, go to the end, and here, as I said, I am taking the same function, but rather passing the individual element and rather passing the array. Rather passing the first memory location's address, I am passing the entire array. So this is how we declare. This is how we indicate the array passing in the function declaration. So this will indicate that we are going to pass an array as an argument to this sample function. So inside my main function, I am declaring an array. Okay, array of some 5 elements. So here equals to, you put that array elements 23, 24, 56, 79, 9. So like this you put all the elements. How many? 5 elements we have initialized to this array. Array of 5. So ARR of 0 is 23, ARR of 1 is 24, ARR of 2 is 56, ARR of 3 is 7, array of 5 is 9 likewise. So next thing what we do, we call that sample function, and no need of void when you are calling. Simply put sample of, pass that array. What we have to do, simply put the array name, that's enough. Pass the array. So over here I will try to access that array elements into my sample function. Void sample of, receive that function, int function FARR, formal array we are receiving, and don't put the size, because the called function, it is unaware how many elements the calling function is going to send. So simply put without the size. And the same thing for function declaration. Same thing for function declaration. Don't put the size over here, because the function declaration and function definition, they are completely unaware of how many elements we have into the passing array. Okay, so just now what we have to do inside the called function, in the sense we will try to access the individual elements and we will see whether we are receiving those elements or not. Printf, I'm printing inside the main function, I mean inside the sample function only I'm printing the values. So here what we have to do, elements in array, elements in array are yeah, randomly you put percent, three elements I will print, percentile d, percentile d, percentile d, or else will print all. Only 5 we have now, so 5 elements I am printing. So now how I can print those elements? My first element address is in formal array variable, so simply put 1 formal array of 1, then comma formal array of 2, okay, then comma formal array of 3, comma formal array of 4, comma formal array of 5. So like this you put, and at the end semicolon. So now just we'll execute this program and we'll see what output we will get. So for our understanding, before executing the program, we'll understand this program. So for our understanding, we have defined an array. We have initialized an array of 5 with 23, 24, 56, 7 and 9. So if we are passing the entire array as an argument to this function, okay, by simply passing the array name, if this gets successful, what should happen? Yeah, the array first element address should be saved inside this formal array. Should be saved inside this formal array. And using that address, I should be able to access all the elements. I should be able to access all the elements. So is it correct, the indexing what I have taken over here? No, it is not correct. So the indexing should start from 0, isn't it? The indexing should start from 0. So this thing, and should end at maximum size -1. So this thing I will remove and I will put that thing over here and I will make this as 0. I will make this as 0. Save this and yes, compile. As you can see, the compilation, it is successful. Then run. See, I am able to access all the elements from my actual array into the formal array. I am able to access all the elements from my actual array into the formal array, as you can see over here, 23, 24, 56, 7 and 9. So whatever elements I have declared inside the actual array and passed from the calling function to the called function, I am receiving all those elements. So let's just see by doing some modifications to those elements. So what I am doing, I will add 10, 10 to each of that element. Okay, formal array of 0 equals to, what should I do? Same thing, formal array of 0 plus 10. I'm adding 10 to my first element. I'm adding 10 to my second element, that is ARR of 1. Second element, add 10. Okay, same thing I will copy from here to here and add 10 to the third element. So third element is nothing but formal array of 2. Here also same thing, formal array of 2. Then one more, formal array of 3. Here formal array of 3. Sorry, my mistake. Formal array of 3, like this. The next element, third element, fifth element, formal array of 4 and formal array of 4, like this. Just save this. And does it going to affect my actual parameters in the main function? That is nothing but in the calling function, means yes, it does going to affect the actual parameters, because passing the entire array is something like call by reference mechanism. Passing the entire array is call by reference mechanism, because we said whenever we are passing the first element address, because whenever we are passing the array name, we said it is going to pass the first element address. So whenever we are dealing with addresses, whenever we are talking about addresses, this is call by reference mechanism. So changes made to the formal parameters do affect the actual parameters. So that we will see now. Control C, I have copied that line of code and here I am pasting that one. Okay, so now just go and see. Yeah, over here instead of formal I have to put actual, ARR. That is my actual array name. So ARR, and here also ARR, and the last element here also ARR. So just for our understanding, elements in actual array I will write like this, and elements in formal array, and that too before change, isn't it? Before change, before you made any change. Okay, you can even print the same thing after change. Okay, here after performing the change from the called function only you print the values, and in my very next statement I will go to the calling function and I will print the changed actual parameters as well. So this is after the change, after change, before change. Just put \n at each printf statement just to have the line separation in my output. So here one \n and here also one \n, and go to the actual parameters and \n. So like this, save this program, and now yeah, here what I am doing, just understand. Here what I am doing, I have declared an array and I passed that array, and here inside this sample, passed that array to the sample function. Inside sample function, I am printing the formal array, okay, before the change, and printing formal array after the change. And coming back to the calling function, I'm also printing the actual functions, I mean actual array after the function call. So quickly go and see, compile, compilation is successful, then run. As you can see over here, yes, what output we got? As you can see over here, the output, first we are calling, I mean we are declared the function, I mean declared the array with 23, 24, 20, 56, 7 and 9, and I'm passing that same array to the sample function, and I'm receiving that inside formal parameter FARR. In that, using that formal parameter, I'm printing the values of all elements. So yeah, before the change, before the change, as you can see over here, we are getting the same values, 23, I mean whatever values we declared, that same values we are getting before the change, 23, 24, 56 and 7, 9. Then after the change, I am printing the values from called function. So that is 33, because we have added 10, 10 to each of the element. So 33, 34, 66, 17 and 19. Okay, this is formal parameters after the change. Over here we are getting from here. Now finally, after coming back to the calling function, when I'm printing the actual parameters, I'm getting 33, 34, 65, 17 and 19. That is, whatever changes we made to the formal parameters affected the actual parameters inside the array. Okay, so this is called by reference mechanism. Hopefully you understood how we can pass the individual values from the array, and how we can pass the individual elements addresses from the array, and how we can pass the entire array to the function, from the calling function to the called function. Okay, and which one is going to affect my actual parameters and which one do not affect my actual parameter, everything we discussed in today's session. Hopefully in my next class, I'll be discussing with the predefined function libraries. Okay, like your mathematical, I mean like your string manipulation functions, we also have mathematical functions that also we need to discuss. So hopefully we'll do that discussion in my next class. And it is mathematical library functions, it is also an important question. Many times they have framed the questions, SAQs, short answer questions, from this concept, math functions. Hopefully we'll do that discussion in my next class. Thank you very much, students.